Hey, this is Angela Murat at Amazing Kids AAC Consulting. I'm recording this on Sunday, February 22nd, 2026, to document concerns regarding glitches that have been in the most recent update for TouchChat with WordPower that was released on February 11th. That is version 2026.1.0. There are three distinct glitches happening related to text-to-speech voices that are specific to this app update. The reason why I know that is I have my main iPad. I did not update any of the PRC-Saltillo apps out of an abundance of caution, and updated my iPad 10th gen here that I'm recording on. And I'm not having any of these glitches over on my main iPad, but they are happening here on my 10th gen, and I'm seeing multiple, like an increasing number of people asking what's going on in the TouchChat group and over in AAC for the SLP and a variety of other social media. People are like, help, what's going on? So documenting this to hopefully gain some attention and help stress that this needs to be fixed. And I've figured out some hacks, some workarounds. None are ideal. We really need for the company to actually fix the issue, but there are some workarounds. So this is my iPad 10th gen, so it's not an overly old iPad. It has plenty of free storage space, 11.46 gigabytes. It's on iPad OS 26.3, but I've seen people commenting on a variety of other iPad OS versions. So I don't think it has to do with the iPad OS. It doesn't have to do with the model of iPad I'm using. It's specifically related to glitches related to text-to-speech that came about in the most recent version 2026.1.0 update for TouchChat with WordPower on February 11th, 2026. So just documenting that, let me head over to TouchChat and show you what's going on. So you can see the version down at the bottom. Oh, and other things I've already tried. I already tried doing a forced restart several times. That did not resolve the issue. After making sure I had all of my vocab files backed up, I deleted the app and reinstalled it. I do not recommend doing that because that caused further issues with things that I had that were in-app purchases, and that just took a long time to resolve that separate issue. And that also did not fix anything. So I've done my due diligence to try all the things to fix it myself. So here is, let me show the vocab file. I've tried installing fresh installs from within the things here. You can see one there. That didn't resolve the issue. I tried sending over a vocab file that was a fresh install over from my iPad Air M2 that's still on the older version. I'll show you that, thinking, well, maybe that'll force it to do the right thing. No, that didn't fix it either. So it's something in the text-to-speech voices related to this most recent app update. And my gut is telling me that it may have something to do with that they made a new, which was exciting. They added code switching in the speech display bar, and my gut's telling me that that change, because that involves text-to-speech voices, that maybe somehow that's related to this. I'm not an engineer, so I don't know. But I'll show you what's going on. Okay, so the very first thing that's happening, I'm going to tap the message window and you can see that it's blank.
Dot.
Tap it again.
Dot.
And normally you wouldn't tap on there when it's blank, but I've seen several parents say, well, their child discovered that and now they're tapping it on it repeatedly and that it's upsetting to them. The workaround for that, which again is not ideal, is go into your settings, go over to your voices, and when I explored it some, that dot glitch is specific to the Acapela text-to-speech speech engine. So as a temporary solution, you could switch to a different voice. I don't normally recommend that because a voice is a very personal thing, and that in and of itself could even be more upsetting to a user. So I would involve them in that decision on whether or not, which is worse, having it say dot or having to choose a new voice. So you could choose any of the Almagu voices, which are the little bird, or you could choose an Apple voice. If it's a child, I would choose probably one of the Almagu voices. Let's see what one I already have downloaded. Let's see. So see, I had Ella installed there. Let's go. So you have lots and lots of other child voices. Let's see, I'm just looking to see if I already had one downloaded. And at least they tell you which ones are child voices. Let's see. I'm going to scroll back up to the top. Sorry.
Hi there, my name is Abigail. I like music and hanging around with my friends. I took a break from all that to record my voice for you. It was not easy, but it was fun. I really hope you like it.
Okay, so I'm going to download one of the Almagu voices. And choose it. And you'll see here by doing that, you are losing the highlight spoken word. So if that's an important feature to you, and the dot, it's saying dot, the dot glitch isn't as big of a deal, then I wouldn't do this. So it's a pros and cons kind of thing. All right. So now, so you can hear that that's the new voice. And now I'm going to tap on an empty message window, and it's not saying dot. So if that's the glitch that you're needing to fix, go over into menu, select something that is not an a cappella voice, and that would be your temporary workaround. Okay, so glitch number 2 has to do with if you have any pronunciation change at the button level. So I'll go in here and show you what I'm talking about here. This button right here, I've edited and see alternate pronunciation.
My name is Angela.
Okay. So I'm going to tap it.
My name is Angela. My name is Angela. My name is Angela. My name is Angela.
And that, unfortunately, is not fixable by, like, that's not an a cappella voice. That's an Almagu voice. That does the same thing. Okay, so I'm going to go back in here, and I'm going to go back to here, and I'm going to go to my Apple personal voice just to show you that an iOS voice will do the same thing.
My name is Angela. My name is Angela. My name is Angela. My name is Angela.
Yeah, and I'm going to go back into and switch back over to the Ella voice and show you that it's still doing that same thing with Ella, with any acapella voice. I'm not going to go through and try all of them, but all right. Blue check mark, clear.
My name is Angela. My name is Angela. My name is Angela. My name is Angela.
All right, so you're way around that one, which if you have tons of pronunciation exceptions at the button level, I'd probably make a copy of your vocab file. So you save the one that is already has them at the button level, make a copy, and then maybe prioritize which buttons you use the most, because that would take a lot of time to do this. But you'll need to remove. So I'm going to remove that from there. I'm going to save it. Done. And now I'm going to tap that button.
My name is Angela.
So see, now it's not doing that. In order to have my pronunciation exception, I can do that over here under Edit Pronunciations. Except I think it only lets you do a word. So if there's a name that's not being pronounced correctly, you could do just a single. So if it was mispronouncing, which some of the text-to-speech voices do, not say my name very well, then you would do it here at this level. The downside of doing that there is those aren't backed up. So again, that's a workaround, like a temporary solution. I would do it on a copy of your vocab file. That way you have your other one to revert back to once PRC-Saltillo fixes this mess. Okay, so the third glitch, and there may be others, these just happen to be the three that I've noticed and the three that I've seen people comment about. And this one's really funky. It's random. So where I found it on WordPower 60 Basic may show up in a whole different spot on a different vocab file, because I've seen it on all the different varied grid sizes pretty much. Under groups, reading, the early books. Okay, listen to whenever I tap Brown Bear version 1.
Brown bear.
That is the iOS Samantha voice. And I went over to iOS Accessibility and changed the voice. I changed it to Joelle, and that Joelle pronounced that. I changed it to one of the novelty voices, and the novelty voices pronounced that. So whatever you have set over in your iOS Accessibility text-to-speech voice is what's reading these buttons that are leading into here. So listen to this one.
I went walking.
So strange. Anyway, there is a workaround for that. Again, it's going to depend on how much that matters to the user. And I probably would make a backup and do it on a copy. Okay, but the workaround for that is go into Edit Page, go to that button. Okay, see how you have speech message? You're going to swipe and delete, and then I'm going to add speak message only. I'm also going to add message to display. Okay, so leave the navigate part alone, and you saw what I deleted and what I added, those two things instead. Save. Done.
Brown bear.
And voila. So that's your workaround. Again, if that's not bothering your user, it's just kind of funky, but it's not dysregulating. But I've seen quite a few parents saying this is pretty upsetting to their child. So that's how you can fix that. You're going to need to do that on each button though, because watch Brown Bear version 2
Brown bear.
still does that. So I'm going to show you again. The fix for that is to go into Menu, Edit Page, Brown Bear version 2, edit this button. You're going to delete the speech message. You're going to add speak message only. You're also going to add message to display. Save. Done.
Brown bear.
So that's the fix for that. I'll make a separate video documenting these similar issues in the other PRC-Saltillo apps. My point in doing this isn't to defame the company in any way. It's just to document, to hopefully provide parents and users with some workarounds and hopefully inspire PRC-Saltillo. Like, these are real glitches, and hopefully maybe my video will give you some insights into what's going on and to get them fixed. Hope this helps.